Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are live with you guys, Jodi and Lexi. We are here to discuss all things pretty much off season so far that the Chiefs have done. There's been a lot of moves made, a few guys that we've lost, but many guys that we've retained, especially in our defense, and then a few guys that we've signed. So we just want to dive into everything off season with you guys tonight, and I'm excited to talk about it. There's a lot we haven't covered that has happened over the last few weeks / months.
It's been really interesting, and hey y'all, it's been really interesting. And one, how is it already April 9th? Completely, I feel like I've missed like a month of my life. Like I feel like it was just February.
We are all
literally. I'm like, I feel like it was just February. We were just Super Bowling.
I know.
We were finally relaxing from that, and then I'm like, oh my god, my birthday's in a month. Like I wasn't ready for that at all. Zero birthday plans, just out here for vibes and whatever the heck. But we're already so close to the draft, which means we're gonna have the schedule even sooner, and I can't wait for that so I can play in my away games. And
right. And our live.
Mini camp and OTAs and all the good stuff. But yeah, there's been a lot happening in the off season, so I'm definitely ready to kind of dive into that too. So I mean, I guess there's lots of ways that we can go. We should be organized, right? And first go offense and then go defense because that's the only way my brain is gonna really function. We kind of talked a little bit last week about how we were excited for Carson Wentz to join the team as the backup. Yeah. And then we also spoke about Hollywood Brown. But let's kind of talk about Carson Wentz and how he's really, I mean, we got to admit, he's a much better option, right?
Listen, I love you, Blaine Gabbert. You helped our, you know what? Okay. What I have to say about Blaine Gabbert is and this is what kind of attributing to what Mahomes has said in the offseason is like, we did hit a funk during the regular season. Like, there's no doubt about that, right? Like, we hit a funk.
It was a hard, it for a long time. Like, it wasn't like a 1 or 2 week thing.
Yeah. And what Mahomes said was like, watching that team go in, because we had to play the Chargers in week 18. And watching that team, it was a lot of the backups, a lot of the guys that didn't get to start, and especially Blaine Gabbert being that quarterback that had to start that game. And watching the fire within those guys and them getting that win, I think it just fired our team up that much more to go into the playoffs and be like, okay, we got to do this.
We got this. We're good. We got this.
So you know what, Blaine Gabbert, we appreciate you for that. Like he kind of.
I mean, he did exactly what we needed him to do.
Yeah.
He did, like, one, that's all we expect from you. So thank you for coming in and doing that. But I just want to say that I am like very excited about Carson Wentz.
I am
like,
too.
I've always, and this is crazy. And I mean, to know me, okay, so I used to work for the Dallas Cowboys, right? And so Carson Wentz has been with the Eagles for forever long, right? So that's when I kind of like really learned like who he was as a quarterback and like what he did and what he brought to the team. And so we kind of spoke about it a little bit last week. Like, we think last year his intent was to go somewhere and to be a starter, and that just didn't happen. But I think now, like, him realizing, like, you know what, especially with this draft, there's so many great quarterbacks in this draft. It's hard for a quarterback of his caliber, to really try to go up against these dudes and get a starting role. So it kind of feels like maybe like during last season and as the off season happened, he had that epiphany with his family. Like, you know what? Maybe it's okay to be a backup. And if you think about like backup quarterbacks in the NFL, a lot of them play for a lot of years, like a lot of years. And even though the contracts aren't nearly as big as like a starting quarterback, they're good. They're good enough. I mean, hey, I'll take a $2 million deal every year or every 3 years. Like, are you kidding me? I will absolutely take that with whatever incentives. So.
And the thing is with Carson Wentz is he's made so much money already throughout his career.
Exactly.
He's been paying millions upon millions on past.
I actually want to look that up now.
So now for him to just I think like with even the Colts a few years ago, I think he made like 40 some million. So for him just to go into these teams, like now he can just make like, do you have the number?
His net worth is $60 million.
That's what I'm saying. So for him to just be able to come into the Chiefs, and I think he's a perfect fit on the Chiefs.
I agree. 100%.
So, like we said last week, he played under Doug Peterson on the Eagles, which he is from the Andy Reid tree. So that makes so much sense to me. And then I don't know. I'm excited to see what he brings to our quarterback room. I think he's a good teammate. He played with Jason Kelce for years. So I think Travis will have that kind of connection to him. And then I just think I'm excited to see what he brings to our quarterback room. Some creativity. I don't know if you watched his opening press conference, but
no, I was working.
But he did say, it was like, I don't even know when it was, like a week or two ago, but he did say what you said. He's like, I was stuck being a dad, which I loved. He's like, I was just at home a lot and I wasn't getting that starting job that I thought I would get. Even like a Joe Flacco got it over him. So I don't think he was getting the work he thought he would get. And so he's like, okay, let me go be a backup quarterback, especially for the best team in the league, best quarterback, best head coach, see what that can bring me in my life, and then kind of go from there.
I mean, and it's not like he's been a backup for long. Like he literally, his backup job was last year, right? So I think that also makes me feel really confident because he still has the mindset of like what it is to win. Because I mean, he has played in several playoff games. Like while he was with the Eagles, he did have several NFC championships, right? So he has that mentality of what it is to go out there and win. He knows how to play in all types of weather. So he understands playing in cold weather. He understands playing on grass, like not necessarily on turf. So, I mean, there are a lot of like transferable skills there that make me think like, all right, he's going to really be able to come in here and to be like
this is a Bills fan that they wanted Wentz there, but they got Mitchell Trubisky.
Which, I mean, and Mitch isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like, thank God. I'm glad we got Carson.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not bad. So I mean, I'm kind of with you, Lexi. I'm really excited to see like what he's gonna do and what he can do to come on this team and win. And I feel like if we were in a situation where he had to come in, or if he had to come play week 18 or week 17 and week 18, whatever, he'll definitely be able to come in and execute. I think he's going to pick up the playbook quickly. He understands what it's like playing with great receivers too. So, I mean, I think it's like a win-win situation for us. And who knows? Maybe he comes. Have the details came out on his deal yet? No?
Yes. I think it was like hold on.
I have not seen the details. And I'm pretty sure I can say
is he did say, I will find those details, but he did say if he had to like go in and do the quarterback sneak for Mahomes, because we won't rush him on that anymore. He's like, I will go in and do that, which I love. So that excites me.
Yes. Okay. So it looks like his deal was $3.325 million.
Yeah.
2.2 fully guaranteed with up to 1.1 of incentives, which he's gonna get incentives. So I mean, bringing him in for a 1-year deal for 3.3. Sign me up for that. And who knows, right? What if he comes in this year? What if you already know Andy Reid loves him, like clear, right? What if he comes in this year, does exactly what he needs to do as the backup? If he has a situation where he has to play out on the field, he executes well. Like, I think the difference between Blaine Gabbert and Carson Wentz is if Carson Wentz did just his bare minimum job this year, we might bring him back next year. Like, and I know next year might be the year that like we draft like another quarterback to kind of start learning and getting the behaviors of Patrick Mahomes. But I can really see us bringing him back for another season on like another 1-year deal or something like that, depending on what this season plays out like. And I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think we'll just see what happens with him this season. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he does in training camp. That's a really, really solid backup quarterback.
Yeah.
to play.
He might go get a starting job after this year with us. I don't like that.
Saying. So
I don't like that.
I think no, but I think that's the smartest move for him career-wise, is coming here, playing behind Mahomes, playing with Andy Reid, and be like, let me show you what I can do again. And,
Yeah, very smart.
We'll see what happens, but
I mean, his net worth is $60 million. What's a little $3.3 million gonna do? That's gonna be his house that he pays for in Kansas City when he moves there.
Let me get to that, Carson.
Exactly, like literally that. That's what it's gonna be. Okay, so let's kind of get into the receivers, because there's a lot going on there.
Re-signings we've done on offense. Well,
yeah, I was gonna get to Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
So let's kind of get into him. So we brought him in. We talked about that last week. We're excited about that, right?
Yeah.
But I guess 2 weeks ago, my question would have been, is Marquise coming in as the one or the two? What's his role? Is he coming in as the number one or the number two receiver? Because I genuinely did not know before this Rashee Rice incident happened, because we only brought him in for a 1-year deal. So what do you...
Kingdom
hey,
Cats.
y'all. So what do you think? Like, do you think that he was initially coming in as the number one or the number two receiver?
I think it was going to be a competition. I think honestly leaning towards wide receiver one, because I think that's the role he kind of fulfills, especially with having a Travis Kelce here. I think you have Travis Kelce, and then I think you have...
Which doesn't count. Travis don't count. We already know he's the one.
Right. So, but I mean, like, I think having that luxury, I think Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown could have been that wide receiver one. And then I think Rashee Rice would have been, but I think it would have been more of a competition. Because of the...
It definitely would have been a competition. Well, but when you think about Hollywood, right? He definitely has the more years of experience. He's definitely been in a playbook before. He has more NFL experience than Rashee Rice, right? Sure. I guess that is what... I don't know. Like, I don't know if I thought he was going to be the one or the two here either. I think I thought he was going to be the one. But then I was like, well, we only put him on a 1-year deal. It's not like we did a 3-year deal with him. If we would have did a 3-year deal, then I'd be like, he for sure was going to be the one.
Yeah.
But then it's like, did Veach give him that contract to come here and get a ring, and then to go off and get a bigger contract with another team because he is so young and he is still so good?
I think that's kind of the way we have to look at a lot of the contracts we have this season. Now, for next season, I don't even want to think about it, because there's so much.
Not doing it.
It's insane. The amount of people that we will lose or whatever.
Yeah.
But the way that Veach has set up this season is to three-peat. And I think signing a guy like Hollywood Brown that's a major factor in it. And I think he could, though, if he proves himself and is like a really, really great fit in our offense, and I could see us giving him a longer deal. And if that's what he wants and it works out with our team, that's great. But I think this is kind of a prove it deal, because he's said too, he's like, I haven't been utilized like I wanted to be in an offense yet. Like, the Ravens didn't utilize him like he wanted.
Right.
And then Kyler got injured on the Cardinals, so that was his quarterback. So he hasn't really had like that fair shot to show what he can really do. So I'm really excited to see him in our offense and see what he can do with Mahomes. And they've already, I think it was like a few days after he signed, they've been training nearly.
Yeah, he's in Texas. Get to Texas.
So yeah. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. But I don't know, wide receiver one. I think he will end up being that, especially if Rashee gets suspended like 4 or 5 games. But
which I fully expect him to be suspended like 3 or 4 games for sure. Yeah. Does Mecole Hardman come back because of Rashee's suspension?
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
I mean, put him on another 1-year deal. But I guess then it's like, okay, how many 1-year deals is Mecole willing to do?
No.
Before he gets... Like, he clearly is looking for his big payday too, right? But he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. Last year, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Went to the Jets, only went there on a 1-year deal. Wasn't a splash deal either, which kind of makes you think like, all right, the money that he's looking for is not there for him. Nobody wants to pay him what he wants. So do you just say forget it and do another 1-year deal with Kansas City? And so I'm actually, they've been really quiet about Mecole Hardman.
Really quiet.
So I don't know what's going on there, because it's not like he's even like.
But that's the weird thing, is like I haven't heard of buzzings with him with any team.
And he's not in Texas. He's in Kansas City training.
Yeah.
So what do you think he would be training with Pat with all the other receivers down in Texas too? I don't know. It's real.
I would think so, but then like
he was down there last year. No, he wasn't. Because he was with the Jets.
Down there the year before. Yeah.
Was he? I mean, look, I can barely remember last year. I can't remember 2 years ago. Like I can really, I don't know. I'm very interested.
Last year it was a whole other plethora of people. But yeah, last year he signed with the Jets during the offseason. So he was with them.
Right. So that's why I was like, well, shoot, he wasn't even here then. Me personally, I'm like Charles. I don't know if Mecole has a market right now. And I personally, did I glitch?
You're glitching a little. But your voice isn't.
Okay. I was like, wait, did I glitch? I don't know if Mecole has a market right now. He should. But I would also be A-okay if we brought him back on a 1-year deal. There's way more receiver questions I want to ask, but I want to talk about CEH real quick before we dive in deep on receivers. So we brought CEH back on another deal to partner him with Pop. We also kind of talked about this last week for a quick second, but CEH is back. I think his partnership with Isaiah Pacheco is going to be great. What do you think we're going to do in that third running back spot? Even though I know we just signed, I don't know his name, soccer player.
Oh, rugby player.
Rugby. Adorable. So
Luis Reese Zamet or whatever.
Sure.
Luis Reese Zamet. LRZ. LRZ is what I call him.
Oh, you gave him a nickname
now. So LRZ. But yeah, he's a rugby player from the UK or from England. And they over there, they're all extremely hyped for him because I guess he's one of their star players over there.
Yeah.
One of the very elite. So I think him coming here is very interesting, but it's not someone I'm going to say, okay, he can be a starter from day one.
No.
Gotta just see what happens there. I think I'm really excited to see him play in training camp and preseason. But
is he coming here as a receiver or as a running back? Because when they signed him, they originally said both. They didn't necessarily slot him to anywhere. So, of course, it makes sense.
On the roster. He's on the roster as a running back.
So, okay, I thought I saw he was on the roster as a receiver at a point in time. Because, you can go deep in receiver.
Yeah.
And then they were just going to use him like as a hybrid.
They signed him as a running back. So, like when he signed his deal with us, it was running back.
I don't know what to expect from him this year. I'm really sad because went to St. Louis this past weekend, went to an XFL game, was super excited about that because I wanted to see like the new kickoff rules. They don't do it anymore.
What do they do now?
It's like an NFL kickoff.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, like I was super excited. I was like, ooh, okay. And I like sat down and got ready. And then I was like, wait, they don't even do it anymore. So the XFL, UFL, they don't even do the old kickoff that they used to do anymore. So that was really a waste of time. But I don't know what we're going to do with LRZ. I don't know what his expectations are going to be. I think that Veach and Andy are they are a mastermind because what makes you go, hey, there's a rugby player that I think would be really great. Let's sign him.
That's such a freaking Veach thing to do. Actually, both of them.
That is right. Because in my mind, I'm like, I could definitely see Andy Reid being like, but. I
can see both of them being like, this will be fun.
This will be.
Well, I think it's really low risk, high reward.
1,000%.
So.
1,000%. And we're always going to test the limits of the NFL. Like, if you haven't learned one thing about the Chiefs, we're definitely going to give you different ways to be innovative in the NFL and to pick up different tips and tricks. Like, remember, we're the team that had 1,000 receivers and was throwing the ball to 1 million people. And then all of a sudden, the NFL kind of picked up that and started doing it too. So this is going to be great. I can't wait to see what he comes in and does. But I really can't, if he's a running back for this team, I really want to see how him Pacheco, and CEH work together, because they all have different identities on this team. They all have different roles and
That's
different
funny.
identities.
Like, I've seen people be like, "Oh, he's the next CMC," and then I see people be like, "He's literally going to be nothing." So I'm like,
CMC is definitely not the comparison I have.
no, I think
Like, not even close, actually. No, like, no, not even close, actually. If anything, I feel like Pacheco is more like CMC. Like, I feel like they are very similar in their styles of running. I would have never said, huh?
I don't know. No one's really like CMC to me right now. He's just in a league of his own. And then Pacheco,
I think he's in a league of his own. He's so different.
Yeah, he is too, but he's so different. Yeah.
He reminds me. Okay. Okay, wait. I think I got it. And I could be very wrong still. It's giving like a Dante Hall joystick with this new rugby player.
LRZ.
That's what it's giving me. Like, if I had to think of somebody to compare him to, because Dante Hall, human joystick, he does anything. Like, you put him on the field, he's gonna figure out a way to get to the other end zone. And so if I had to think of somebody like his height, shape, style of football,
Dante Hall, we'd be lucky.
human joystick.
We'd be lucky if he was like that.
Yeah, but if that's way closer than CMC for me.
Yeah.
And like, I couldn't compare him to like Jamal Charles. Like, it doesn't give me Jamal Charles at all, right?
No,
so that's why I'm like, if I had to think of who, that would be the route that I would go. Anyway,
the thing is, we haven't seen anything of him, so I just want to wait to make any kind of comparison until we at least see him in like preseason. And then be like, okay,
we'll see.
This is what he's kind of looking like. And we'll react in training camp and all that stuff, but
that's going to be the comparison that
I'm you can say right now.
That's going to be my hot take, and I just pray that he doesn't disappoint me in OTAs. It's
low risk, it's high reward, hopefully. But if not, then it is what it is.
Yeah. Who else am I missing on the offense? What? Who else am I missing on offense?
Not much. So
because everything was defense. I feel like this.
We still have Sky Moore. We still have Kadarius Toney.
So back to the receivers.
Yeah.
So are they still on this team? Yes.
They're still on this team.
So Sky Moore is in Dallas. Is KT in Dallas?
No.
No, I haven't seen him.
No.
Is Richie James in Dallas?
Well, he's off the team, but no.
I mean, but
free agent, but I'm like wondering if we'd bring him back.
Correct. So that's what, like, he's a lot like the Mecole Hardman situation. I'm not hearing anything of him like interviewing with other teams, or definitely nothing like on the retirement reel for either one of them. But you're also not hearing the Chiefs talk about bringing either of them back either, which clearly Veach is out here shopping and spending money. He got 19 million. Thank you, L'Jarius Sneed. He got his little 19 million, and he's been out here shopping and buying players, which is great. So right now, we'll get into that a little bit later, Jenna. But so right now our receiver room is looking like Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Maybe Rashee Rice. Sky Moore. KT.
Yeah.
No MVS. No Richie James. You're breaking stuff. So when I think about no. Somebody else was down in Texas too. Who else was in Texas?
Oh, Irv Smith Jr., our new tight end.
Yes. I keep forgetting that we signed a tight end.
I'm so excited about him, actually.
You said what? Well, you're not here, so I can't hear you.
Hang on.
100%, Jenna. KT should absolutely lose his job. But
okay.
I don't know what's happening there. Especially so. Okay, we just got to kind of get into the welcome back.
Well, okay.
Stop breaking stuff, by the way. Please stop breaking. I saw like your light up. So I'm like, God, I hope she didn't start a fire.
No.
Oh my God. Welcome back.
Oh,
I have your address, so I could have definitely called 911 if all else failed. So
yeah,
that's the one plus side to all of
we're
it.
really, yeah.
Okay.
We're here. It's great.
So, I mean, okay, let's kind of get back
No.
into the receiver situation. We have not spoke about the Rashee Rice situation. And we both have thoughts about it. And we don't have to get into our thoughts about it. But let's talk about what happens with this receiver room. So,
So we're really not working with much.
no. Don't you love that I named off who we have? And it's somehow worse
It's not
than
good.
last. But is it worse than last year or is it better
Oh,
because we have
no.
Hollywood?
I
Right? Okay, so and we're going to get into draft a little bit later, but we're really going to dive into our draft thoughts next week. But if we have okay, so we have Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, Irv Smith, which I named 3 tight ends out of 4 people. Rashee Rice will probably be gone the first 4 or 5 games. And hopefully, here's what I'm hoping does not happen. I hope Roger Goodell and his people do not try to screw the Chiefs over. Like, y'all know Rashee Rice did something dumb in March of 2024. Please, if you're going to suspend him, not wait until like week 6 of the season.
see that's
Like,
my concern. That's my concern is that it's going to be like week 6 to 12 or something.
Or exactly, they're going to do something just ridiculous when they could literally do it at the beginning of the season because the incident has happened so early in the season.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's still going to be on this team. I don't think they're going to kick him off of the team. I do think he just gets like that suspension. And I'm hoping that it's in September, October, and not November and December when it could really hurt us. And I also hope that if they do suspend him, it is at the beginning of the season because I hope it doesn't happen during free agency. So we can go out and get someone if we have to in that small window, and then we don't kind of run out of time in a sense.
Yeah.
So what do we think about Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney? I think Sky Moore is back on this team.
Definitely, especially the work he's been putting in, especially with Patrick. I think Sky Moore is definitely back.
Yeah, I think Patrick was like, I'll see you in February. Patrick was like,
yeah.
You don't get an off day. You go to the gym after the day after the parade. Like, I feel like maybe that's what that was like. We'll see you the day after the parade.
The thing about Sky Moore is like since the moment he was drafted, he's wanted to be a big part of this team. And I just hope he can find that rhythm with Mahomes. I think we have no other option than to hope that.
We have no other option.
So I hope he can find it. I hope he can. I don't know what else to say, but I hope he can.
It's year 3 for him, Lexi.
Yeah, this is going into year 3.
How did Okay, wait. So Kadarius Toney, right? This would be year 3 for him.
Technically year 3 for him as well.
Him, right?
We brought him on late that year.
Correct. He came in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Who do you think out of the 2 picked up the playbook better? Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore.
Probably Kadarius.
Probably KT, right?
Yeah.
So KT, our issue. Oh, God bless. I was gonna say our issue with him was getting hurt, but it also includes holding on to the ball.
He went on to make those videos right before playoffs of like the Chiefs behind him, and
it's giving toxic. I don't like it.
Good. No, and we kind of knew that might happen with him.
But I thought we only signed him on like a 3-year deal, right? Like this is the out year, right? This would technically be the out year if we wanted to get out of here.
I think next year is.
I don't know his contract. I guess I could look it up real quick.
But the same year as like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith by the Giants. So I think he has like 1 more year.
Oh, did we pick up his contract from the Giants? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we picked up his contract from the draft. Bless. Okay, so regardless of what happens, we know that we're going into this season with.
Yeah, he was drafted 20th overall in the 2021 draft.
Round 1 draft pick. That's why I was like, did we pick up his contract? Because he had a 5-year option.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think will still be on the team as well.
Right. Bless. Okay, so we just know that we're going to have Hollywood Brown. We're gonna have Rashee Rice. We're gonna have Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and hopefully, I know we're gonna get into draft next week. I don't know if I want to go that deep in receivers this year like we did last year. Clearly, having like 6 receivers.
Yeah.
That was detrimental to us for most of this season. So I really don't want to do that.
Jodi, Justin Watson.
Oh, bless.
I forgot Justin Watson.
So we're already at 6.
Well,
we're at 5.
5.
We're at 5. God bless.
Yeah. Justin Watson, he's a chief. What's happening with J Watt? He's a chief.
Which I'm happy about. I love Justin Watson. I love that he's here. Thank you. I'm actually grateful that he's here. God bless. If those are the 5 dudes we have right now, for me, it goes Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, every other dude on the team.
No, that's so true.
That's the order.
True. No, it's true.
That might be a blessing in disguise. So
I'm happy with Justin Watson on the team. I think he was a positive for us last season.
Absolutely. He had a couple of drops that weren't like him.
He's not going to be wide receiver 1, but he's a good piece when you need him to make like a catch, maybe 3 catches a game.
And it's not like small catches. Like he's
making
10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards carried. So
he's kind of doing what MVS did, but he's more reliable on catching it.
Correct.
So yeah.
Well, I know we're going to talk a little bit about the draft in a minute.
We do have Justin Ross and Nico Remigio.
But they'll probably be on the practice squad.
Now, Nico actually has been down. Well, actually,
down in Dallas.
They've both been down there. Nico
Justin's been down there? I haven't seen any clips of him down there.
Yeah, he was in Nico. Yeah. They both been down there. Nico, for me, he was like a training camp darling last year.
Correct.
And he looked really good, but then he got injured. So I'm like, I'm curious to see what he can do. We'll see. There's no really hopes there, but like if he can be a contributor, then by all means.
There's like no way Sky Moore can go to the practice squad, huh?
No. See, that's
or Kadarius Toney. Neither one of them could go to the practice squad.
Because they would be poached in a second.
Correct.
So you gotta leave the roster.
But would they? Would they?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Am I mad if we drop them to the practice squad and somebody comes to pick them up? No. You know what?
Because someone's going to immediately poach them. And that's
totally that's fine. Can you pick up the rest of their contract and get them off of our books? Like,
I don't even know if you can put like a Kadarius Toney. I don't know how that. I don't know.
I mean, he can't start the season off on IR.
No,
he's healthy. I'm like, they can't. They literally did not play in November or December. Well, let me be correct. They did not play at all in December.
I want to be a little bit bold right now and say, I am very disappointed in Rashee Rice. I am. I don't really want to get into the details of what he did. I think most of you know. I've seen his story. I'm just so, for football purposes only, I'm so bummed out because you had the chance, like Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, that trio with Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco out there, Clyde. I mean, it was just.
We're going to have a top 5 defense this year.
So much success. Yeah, our defense is back, and we'll get into that. But you were just set up for so much success there. And it's just so frustrating to me that this all has to be happening right now. Like, I can't believe we can't even just say, like, oh, yeah, Rashee, Hollywood, Travis, like we're so excited. Nope, can't even say that because
It's very important to have good friends, and that's all I'm gonna say.
right. Just make good choices, people. Just
Choose to
make
have
choices.
better friends. Your friends should not put you in terrible situations.
No,
That's all I'm gonna say.
that's
That's
all
all
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna say.
say. Yeah.
Like, I actually, me and you have had offline conversations, and you've heard all of my curse words about
Oh, yeah.
Rashee Rice that I will not put on the podcast. But it's really unfortunate because
That's all I'm saying. It's just like
put it this way, if you're suspended for 4 games, you better figure out a way to come back and make Chiefs Kingdom not be mad at you, because at this moment, we are all irritated with you. And we know that you are young and you are dumb, because we were all young and dumb. I
yeah,
get it. But I need you to have better friends.
yeah.
Please.
And he
Please.
knows. I mean, you
Don't
know,
be
he knows.
dumb.
You know, he knows. Like,
Oh, he knows. Oh, if he didn't know, he knows now.
he knows.
I'm like, if he
No.
didn't know, he knows now. So it's a mess. We can never just have a regular off season. Like,
Never.
who
What
did
would
we think that we were? Who did we think that we were? We can't. And now that is going to be on his docket for the remainder of his career. Even when he goes into the Hall of Fame, we're gonna be like, remember when Rashee Rice was in Dallas his rookie year and he right after it's never going away. I'm never gonna let it down. I'm a Taurus. I don't let things down. I will always remind you of the things that you did that were stupid. Of all of the things that you did that were dumb as hell. Oh my God. Okay, well,
the defense a little bit.
yeah, I'm like, positive note, the defense, as I was transitioning, whole bunch of great things happen. Nadi is back, Wharton is back, Pinnell is back,
Yeah.
Deion Bush is back.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good things happening there. James is back. Winchester. I can't say his last name. Winchester. He's back. Chris Jones is back. Drew Tranquil is back. We literally brought back like 10 out of the 12 dudes.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that tells me a lot. That tells me a lot.
You know, the only guys we let go off of our defense are
Willie Gay, Mike Edwards,
Willie Gay, and L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
Our biggest losses are obviously L'Jarius and Willie because they've been here for years, and
Mike Edwards.
Really sad to see them go.
When Mike Edwards was healthy, though, man,
I love Mike Edwards.
And we know the reason why he left. He left because he wants to be a starter, and he plays like a starter. I fully get it. Because he's not going to be a starter on this team.
And I hate that he went to the Bills, but I get it because he'll have
that shambles.
Well, the thing on the Bills is they lost like everyone on their defense, so he's going to have that chance over there to be a starter.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to have the chance to be a stud for sure, which is why he got paid.
Yeah.
Because he might be the leader of that defense now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the Chris Jones of their defense at this point, which is kind of cool.
I have a few guys that have been there for long, like Taron Johnson.
Who?
Yeah.
I mean, they still got Von Miller, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, they hate Von Miller, but
they hate him, and he cost a whole lot of money. So, I mean, they definitely brought him in there to be like a culture creator. Yeah. Like, and if you think about it, a lot of but when dudes go to, like, so was I surprised that he went to the Bills? Absolutely not. Because I 100% think that the Bills brought him in and they're like, tell us everything about the Chiefs defense. Mm-hmm. How do we make our offense be able to beat the Chiefs defense?
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I think he has loyalty to us and he's not going to tell, because y'all just gave me a whole bunch of money. So I'm going to spill all the beans. But we will talk about if the Bills even make it to the playoffs when we get into the regular season, because as of today, I do not have them making it to the playoffs. But
we'll get there in a while. We don't even have to talk about that yet.
But. Oh, that's my April 9th hot take. Clip it. I don't have them making it to the playoffs unless they have a really, really, really good draft, which is a possibility. But I doubt it.
The only thing with them is they have a lot of draft picks, so they can trade up and get a really good receiver.
They should.
And it just depends how that receiver does. So
exactly. I mean, but they have Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs is really good. It's all about your quarterback. If your quarterback can't get you the ball, And if your quarterback's not going to throw you the ball because you're double and triple team, then what does it mean? Anyway, we're talking Chiefs right now. Like, we're talking Chiefs right now. But no, right, back to the Chiefs. But man, we brought so many. I think our defense is going to be a top 5 defense, and I honestly think they're going to be a top 3 defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to, as of April, I'm going to say top 5.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I really want to see how the other teams do, like the Niners. I want to see what their defense looks like. The Cowboys, I want to see what their defense is going to look like. There's still a lot of teams that have great defenses, and I want to see like what their draft looks like and what the rest of their offseason looks like, which is why I say I still think we're going to have a top 5 defense, which is incredible because last year was the first year we had a top 5 defense in a really long time. We've always been like top 10, top 12, but to be able to bring so many guys back, that is incredible.
There's absolutely no reason we shouldn't have one.
There, in my mind,
everyone. Derek, yeah. Did we list out everyone? I think you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. Yeah. I named 6 dudes. I'm like, I said 1,
even
2, 3,
I was
4,
telling you earlier, Jodi. Like I was rewatching randomly. I decided to turn on the Bills divisional game from last night.
I love that for you.
And I was just like, I just need to like remember some of these details that happened in some of these games from last season. Yeah. And I was looking and we lost Mike Edwards pretty early on in the Bills game due to concussion. We brought in Deion Bush and then we brought him on again in the Ravens game. He is phenomenal as safety. Like he is so underrated. Correct. And we got him once again. We re-signed him at a really fair price, really good deal. And I think again, so he can three-peat. All these guys just want to three-peat, but
and I think that's what makes me not feel as bad about losing Mike Edwards because I know the capability of Deion Bush, and I mean we're getting ready to get.
He can step up.
I mean Najee Johnson's coming back. We just had that conversation last weekend. God bless. We just had that conversation last Tuesday. We're bringing him back. Let's get into the D-line. Kelly Endo's coming back. Malik Herron is coming back. So there's like a lot of guys who are going to be.
Endo's O-line. He's O-line.
Oh,
but
yeah. My bad.
D-line. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm very just excited to. It's like they're literally going to pick up exactly where they left off. And again, we did have guys like FAU who only played very minimal, but the minimal time that they were out there, they were outstanding. Now, I will say, God bless Charles Omenihu.
Oh, yeah.
How do we get you to play one solid season, one full season of football? Okay. How do we get this? Because it's giving next year again, right? So he probably will not be back until like end of October. Like if he gets back sooner than that,
amazing. But I don't know.
It's. I think he's going to miss the first 6 to 7 games of this season.
And I hope you're wrong. I don't know.
I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. But that injury is something
vicious. Stuff he said is like, he's like, I want to be there for the Texans game and Niners game is like revenge games because those are his two other teams he's played for. And we played both of them this season.
Well, and you know what? I originally... before the Texans went out and became a Super Bowl contender, said that they were going to be like our home opener because they come to Kansas City. Now I'm like, we're going to play them in November or December.
I think it's be either like home opener or like mid-December.
Oh, yeah, no. I fully think they're going to be a November or a December game because they're going to be at the top of the AFC next year. Yeah. So I'm like, dang it, before they got Steph, now I'm thinking like our home opener might be like New Orleans, maybe.
I said that. I tweeted that. Go search my tweets. I tweeted that like.
You tweeted what?
That I think the Saints will be our home opener.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to be our home opener now. I think it's going to be them or like.
A lot of great things about that. I think Saints be your home opener, then you end your season in New Orleans at the Super Bowl. Like that's kind of poetic, right?
Well, I mean, we did it with Arizona.
Then you have exactly, and then you also have Willie Gay, Tyrann Mathieu, Colin Saunders, all these guys.
Yeah, because I think Sorensen is off that team now. I think Sorensen is gone now.
I think he needs to retire from the NFL, honestly, but he hasn't done that.
Hey, not our problem anymore. Bless.
Whatever, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, I think, again, it'd be kind of poetic. Like, open your season in Arizona, close it in Arizona, open it with the Saints.
What we do. It's literally what we do at this point. Like,
all for it.
Why are we like this? As
Brian Cook, I think, will probably be ready to go if I imagine by training camp.
I sure hope he is. I think he'll for sure be ready by week one.
A long time. He's been out since after the Dolphins. So
yeah, I think he'll be for sure ready to go by week one.
Yeah,
and I feel like they're gonna just be. I mean, you know how they are. They're so particular about players coming off of injuries. They're not. I don't know. I feel like they're going to like not ramp them up until the end of like training camp, like OTAs, mini camps. They probably aren't going to have them doing a single thing. And then they'll ramp them up in training camp and then hopefully be ready to go by week one. I love me some Brian Cook.
Wait a minute. Look, I just decided to look at his Instagram, look at his story.
Who?
He's running, Brian Cook.
Oh, bless.
Look.
I love that. Yeah, it's a cute little light jog. I love that.
No, I think he's back by training camp for sure.
Good weather.
Great sign.
Good weather today. Good sunshine. I'll take it. I'll take a cute little light jog.
He's gonna be back.
I'll take that all day. So yeah, that's where I feel there. But I'm really excited about the defense. Like, I am so excited about Drew Tranquill being back.
Like, oh my gosh, I think.
And all of these dudes have been like working out for weeks already. So I'm like, they're more ready than I am at this point. Chris Jones in the gym. I feel like I haven't seen that in forever in the off season. So
I think my two
favorite signings.
My two favorite defensive signings, and I think it's because we extended them, have to be Drew Tranquill and Chris Jones. Drew Tranquill we got for at least 3 years. Actually, we didn't talk about Mike Dana. We didn't say him too. Mike Dana. Did we say him earlier?
I said Dana. I just said all their last names. Yeah.
I'm just glad. So we have Mike Dana for another 3 years, Drew Tranquill for 3 years, Chris Jones for 5 years, which just my heart could burst with happiness. Like, those 3 guys specifically are such insane difference makers on this defense.
Correct.
Such smart, cerebral players, underrated.
And Nadi. Nadi coming back is also. I know you say
you know how I feel about Nadi. I love him.
Yeah, like I just again, and that makes me really excited for the draft too. Like, this makes me so excited for the draft because I feel like last year we did go defensive heavy, and I don't think we're going to necessarily do that in this draft. But whoever we bring in to pick up for defense from our draft, they are walking into a room that is like, dude, we are going to give you every tool you need to be successful on this team for the next however many years. So I'm very, like, anybody that we bring into that whole defensive unit right now, I feel so confident about those players. And especially like our guys who are 1 year dudes, them being able to come in on year 2. We seen what happened with George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie, Isaiah Pacheco. We seen what happened from year 1 to year 2. So all of our guys from last year going into this year, I still think our 2022 class is the best class, but they are going to have like an elevated, like the mindset that they had before. Like, if they were hungry before, no, like, I think it's so funny how locked in every single person in that organization, I can't even say on the team, in that organization is so locked in for the three-peat.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't, well, they have said it. I was going to say, they haven't like verbally said it. Sure they did. Chris Jones said it at the draft. Said it multiple times. But for them to have so much hype around a three-peat on April 9th is like insanity. Like,
and I love that, like, all of the off-season crap talk has already started. We're getting Chargers are now the off-season champs again. Love it.
Now they literally have more holes this year than they did last year.
like y'all, okay.
Oh, in the world.
Also, can I just say, I want to add about the Bills, which I think is hilarious. Like, remember when we lost Tyreek? How everyone's like, you guys aren't going to be crap without Tyreek. Like, you're not going to do anything without him.
Oh my God, I know what you're about to say.
Well, okay, so we're not going to do anything without Tyreek. Nonetheless, the Bills lose Stephon Diggs and all of their defense. And we're still like, it's just but no one's doubting them. It's still like, oh, they're still supposed to win the East. When we lost one freaking player and had already won a Super Bowl, we were doubted to win the West after that. Now the Bills lose their best player and lose half their defense, and it's just the.
Did you see? I read. Maybe I don't know. All of my days are mush. I'm gonna say last week. I read they said like, you see what the Chiefs did without Tyreek Hill? Why can't the Bills do that without Stephon Diggs? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's a horrible comparison, and don't ever do that ever again.
Yeah. No, you gotta. The thing is, it's like we lost Tyreek, but Mahomes had already won a Super Bowl with him.
Correct.
The
Bills and then won 2 more. And then won 1 more.
He hasn't even won anything.
Went to the Super Bowl, lost, went to the Super Bowl and won. Like, we've been to the Super Bowl 3 times in the Patrick Mahomes era.
4 times now.
Right. God bless. God bless.
It's insane.
This is insane.
It's funny to me, all the comparisons that go around, and
Stephon Diggs to the Texans.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs to the Texans is wild.
I will say the Texans, I think, are probably the best competition.
No. They are.
They have to be, right?
For me, it goes Texans. No, I think it goes Texans, Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah. But
wait, no, I'm lying. I think it goes Texans. I think it goes Texans, Ravens. Yeah. If Joe Burrow is healthy, I would go Bengals. If Joe Burrow is not healthy, I'm going to go Dolphins and then Bengals and then Bills. And maybe the Browns are over the Bills. Like,
it's just
the Bills are.
It's all over the place, honestly. And I think there's going to be a team. Remember last year, the Texans weren't even a threat to anyone.
They were the sneaky team. But CJ Stroud is so freaking good.
Who's going to be the sneaky team, though, this year?
I think it depends on. Okay. I know we're talking draft next week, but I think it's going to be whoever gets Jaden Daniels, who went to LSU. I think he is such a good freaking quarterback, and I think he's going to be able.
The Patriots are set to get him.
Him or Michael Penix. I think they are the best 2 quarterbacks in this draft. I do not. Bo Nix is really freaking good too. I would say those are my top 3 quarterbacks in this draft, and I think everybody else is overhyped right now. Sorry.
Sneaky. With Anthony Richardson, if he stays healthy, they could be sneaky.
You know who else? Well, and I guess they're NFC, but whatever. Lions.
Oh, I think they'll be great.
The Lions, and I know we're talking AFC, but that's what I think. But I think wherever Jaden Daniels goes, God bless, I couldn't get his numbers right. I think wherever he's so good. And I was looking at some comps, and mind you, I don't know anything about mock drafts. I was looking at some comps, and a lot of people were comparing him to Lamar Jackson. So I don't know how accurate that is.
Who, Jaden?
Jaden Daniels, yeah. But if that's the comparison, then yeah, wherever he goes, he's gonna be electric. Without hesitation. So if he did go to somewhere like the Patriots, I don't know how well he plays in cold weather because he was down at LSU. But I don't know. So I mean,
he might not have a choice though. So
he might not have a choice, exactly. And I'm sure he'll adapt.
Honestly, In the NFL, you're going to get stuck playing some cold weather places no matter what.
Exactly. So. And you do in college. Like, I'm sure he went up to Ohio and had to play at LSU, you know what I mean? And it's always snowing and freezing cold up there. So those are just kind of my thoughts. So I do think the AFC is more loaded again than the NFC going into this year. I'm actually
surprised. Harbaugh on the Chargers. Can we just, that hype is insane.
That is, and it's like, I'm not on the train at all. Not on the train at all. And I get what he did at Michigan, and I get that he used to be in the NFL and left the NFL and went to Michigan and came back to the NFL. Cool. But the Chargers have way too many holes.
I love that Chris Jones and Charles Menahue were calling out who was it? Whitner? Dante Whitner?
Huh? Did I miss something
going around today? You didn't see that?
Today was a hot mess for me.
Yeah. Okay. So previous player, Dante Whitner, he was a defender, and he played for the 49ers when Harbaugh was coaching there. He's also played for a few other teams. He went on Kay Adams' show today and decided to say that the Niners were snubbed, that they were playing the refs and Taylor Swift. That, he just went on to make every excuse. And Chris Jones quote tweeted him, called him out. He actually deleted his tweet, but then Charles Menahue also quote tweeted it and called him out and was like, guess people don't own anything anymore and can't take any responsibility.
No, people have a really hard time taking responsibility and accountability.
Really hard.
I'm like, that is something that we learned.
Wait, I'm trying to find.
Oh, Chris Jones, boo. Why would you delete it? Did Menahue delete his tweet?
I literally tweeted at him and I go, I wish you didn't delete that.
Did Charles Menahue delete his tweet?
No, he kept his
Of course he did.
Hold on. Chris Jones said, tend to make excuses for your failures. Shut up.
Shut the hell up. I love that.
And then Charles, let's see. Charles Menahue. He said, oh my God, he didn't. Oh, he said, oh, brother, people don't take the L's anymore.
They don't. And
I love it. Realized,
like, I'm so sad that I missed both of those, by the way, because that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But you have to realize the Chiefs are so freaking good. It doesn't matter what we do. We can sneeze and they're going to be like, that should be the flag. Like, it doesn't matter what we do. There is always going to be an excuse.
Well, Chris Jones gets held on like nearly every play. George Karlaftis was held on plays.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is always getting a roughing the passer and it's never called. Always. So I'm like, I don't want to hear anything about any of that.
My other qualm was that in overtime, the Niners got a really lucky call on like 3rd and like 13 or something.
Yeah.
And McDuffie was holding.
Yeah.
And then they gave them that because McDuffie was holding when really
allegedly.
It was like off just holding call. It wasn't called all game long, and then they called it and gave him a first down. So I'm like,
in our last 2 Super Bowls, there has been a bogus holding penalty, whether it's been in the 4th quarter or in overtime.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Always. And it's just like, it is what it is. You guys had all game to make plays. Why are you letting it come down to the last minute and you're going to be
And my thing is, be freaking consistent. If you're going to call holding on that, call it the whole game.
Nothing to be mad about on the Chiefs in the overtime.
Yeah.
Like, the Chiefs didn't do anything wrong in overtime. So, like, if you're going to be mad, like, take care of it during I don't know. It's just dumb.
And Patrick Mahomes told y'all, if we get the ball back, we're winning.
And y'all didn't know
y'all that.
So,
like,
y'all didn't know the
he said that to you.
Yeah.
You didn't do what you needed to do.
No.
And I also can't help that you did not learn the overtime rules before the game. Like, none of these things are our fault. That you are terrible at your job. Which, whole nother conversation. Because Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach in the NFL. Not even going to get there. So, yeah, I just feel like there are a lot of coaches who are A, crazy, Harbaugh, B, don't know anything, Niners. There's a lot going on with a whole bunch of teams and all these coaches who have jobs who are not really great at their job. And there are a lot of assistant coaches who should be in head coaching roles, and they're not. And I will say, as much as I hate the Raiders, I really love that they gave Antonio Pierce an opportunity to be a head coach for that team, because that's normally not how that goes. And they usually go out and interview 1,000 other people and bring people in who aren't qualified for the job. So I hate the Raiders, but I love that they did that. I think that's a great move by them. So
I agree, but still always F the Raiders.
Yeah, no, hate them. And they're still gonna lose. You can, God, please don't give us a Christmas game.
Oh, please.
We're gonna get a Christmas game.
There's so many Christmas games. It's on like a Wednesday. It's so terrible. Everything about it, please.
I'm literally gonna take off like Monday. I'm gonna work that Monday and then not work again until the New Year's, with Christmas being on a Wednesday.
Right.
Anyway, I know tonight the only thing we want to talk about is pick 32, and then we're gonna really dive into it next week.
Yeah.
And next week we're excited. Me and Lexi haven't talked draft at all yet. We're gonna talk about what we think we want to do. Not necessarily a mock draft, but what we would like to see position-wise and all those others. And if I can figure out some players who I like between now and next Tuesday, I might fill in some player names. But pick 32. We're always the last pick of the draft because, that's what happens when you're a winner.
Yeah.
What would you like to see happen at 32? Now, for me, I always thought we were going to go receiver before the Rashee Rice incident happened. That was always because I had a flashback of how many dropped balls we had last season. So I was like, we're going to go receiver regardless of what happens in this offseason. And I'll get into it more, but what are your thoughts about pick 32 and where you think we should go?
I agree. I think the need has been receiver. It's been clear since last season. Now, granted, we were very blessed to win a Super Bowl with what we had, and a lot of those guys that didn't show up all season long showed up in the Super Bowl, so I thank them for that. Marquez caught a freaking touchdown
in the Super Bowl, in the AFC Championship game, and in the Super Bowl.
Like, thank you. He's gone, and we definitely need a wide receiver. I think wide receiver, this draft is so intriguing to me, and I can't wait to get into it more next week. Because there is so much depth at that position. I think there's like 5 or 6 guys, honestly, that I'd be like stoked if we took.
Sign me up. I agree.
So I'm all on board with taking wide receiver at pick 32 if that's where we stay. I am I don't think you and I talked about this, but I think it was hilarious that Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson, there's a lot of players that weren't allowed to request trades specifically to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Let's get into that next week.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I randomly saw that and was like, what?
But that tells me I think we're going to be stuck at pick 32. I don't think nobody's willing to trade.
Right. So Manny, hi Manny.
Like desperate.
We love you, Manny. Nobody's going to trade up with us. And that was the issue we had literally last season. And we had just won a Super Bowl.
No one traded with
us. Now
we've
won 2. Like, low key, I don't think anybody will trade up or trade back with us. No, honestly, because they're going to be like, why would we give the Chiefs more picks?
Yeah.
Like, why would we give y'all more picks? No, we're not giving you more picks.
It's incredible we got Tennessee Titans to do anything with us with Snead, with L'Jarius Sneed. Like, I just think we're stuck where we are, which is fine. Yeah. I think there's going to be plenty of great picks left at 32. Wide receiver class is so deep. And so I think what you do is you take best player available between wide receiver and offensive tackle.
100%.
Because we do not have a left tackle as of right now.
Even though they could just bring him back.
Donovan Smith, I would not be opposed to bringing back at all.
Bring him back. I'm okay with bringing him back for another year.
Unless he's trying to retire, I don't know why you.
Our issue was Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, and even he got better towards the end of the season in playoffs.
It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to move Jawan to left and go get a right?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
And they said that last season is that they may start. Remember, they signed Jawan Taylor to maybe be the left tackle.
Correct. Because that was the position that he played, right? in Jacksonville?
No, he was right tackle. He was right in Jacksonville, but he like had played left tackle in college.
Yeah,
So
I'm like, he played left at a point of time.
he was left for a little bit in college, so they were like, we could bring him back to
Correct.
be left tackle, whatever.
So does that? But he's making right tackle money. Well,
kinda. He's making like middle.
Kind of making left tackle money. He's making left tackle money
But
playing at right.
He's now seeing what tackles are being paid this offseason. Now he's being paid right tackle money.
Correct. And honestly,
it kind of works. But I will
in
say
my mind, I feel like Donovan Smith might come back for a 3-peat. Why not?
Right. Why not? And then my other thing is like,
but he was having a lot of health issues towards the end.
And I did not fully mind Wanya Morris. I think that's kind of controversial. And I think people are down on him.
I think that's very controversial right now.
Very controversial, but
I think a lot of people, because I agree, Wanya was better, right? But
he had to start many games as our left tackle, at least like 3 or 4.
But then as soon as Donovan Smith was 80% ready, they put him back out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, if he was so
great, was not fully ready. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they take the chance on him, right? So I don't know what, and maybe it's another off season, maybe it's another training camp, maybe it's another OTAs with him to get him ready. But I don't know. I don't know.
But that's what I mean is like, I think you see what's there at pick 32. If there's a really, really good offensive tackle still available that you could think, because like
you almost would have to go get it because it won't be there by the time we get to the second round.
2021 draft, we lucked out so much with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith that could start right away. Or immediate impact players. So if we can find a guy that to be a left tackle, then by all means, like I would be fine with that. And then you still have depth at wide receiver too in the draft. So,
but I think it's gonna be, and God bless, I know this is next week's episode. I think it's really also gonna be about how adaptable you are to come in and learn the system, because you can be good, but they are gonna teach you how to be great, right? And I think that was the biggest thing we've seen from Creed and from Tuning is they were able to come in and learn and be fantastic, which is why they're so great. And they've had so many years to kind of develop at this point because you're playing at a not Super Bowl caliber, but you are, right? So it's a different type of intensity when you're in these training camps and when you're in these OTAs. This isn't like a regular, and we've heard all of our players say this is the hardest camp that they've ever been to. So iron definitely sharpens iron. So even if we found a guy who is great at OT, maybe we'll be able to get him in here and really develop him up into that next role. So for me at pick 32, I definitely want to go receiver. I think receiver is our biggest issue still. Like, and after we kind of named them all out earlier, I'm like actually a little concerned about this receiver room.
I know.
And we got better, but did we? Like, we got better if Rashee Rice wasn't suspended. Absolutely, we got better. But now that with him being suspended and not being able to have them both on the field at the same time, it kind of defeats the purpose of what we were trying to do. So
kind of
imagine Rashee Rice, Hollywood, Travis Kelce on the field at the same time. What? And we're not gonna have that now for a few weeks. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
I think we definitely need to go receiver.
Yeah.
And then maybe Donovan is just kind of enjoying his off season. Maybe they're going to do the Chris Jones effect. You don't got to come to training camp. You don't got to come to OTAs. Yeah. We know what you can do.
Sign him in August. Sign him in August. That's fine.
See you week 1. Like, and I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that too. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but I 100% agree with you. You need to go wide receiver. But if there is a freaking old offensive tackle, you gotta go get them. And I also don't think we can trade up or trade back because we're the Kansas City Chiefs and people hate us. So those are my thoughts. Those are my final thoughts.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll get into way more draft stuff next week, but that's where I'm at right now.
Promise we will. Your turn.
Sponsor.
Like your turn. I'm like, you got a can in your hand.
Oh yeah, I do. Ken Seltzer First, black-owned seltzer company in America, which is freaking awesome. They are brewed locally here in Kansas City, downtown at Border Brewery, but there is like 20-ish places that they can get Kin Seltzer all around Kansas City. So,
and they're doing a mix pack now, so you can get.
They released a new flavor, which is the strawberry lemonade.
It's so
It's
good.
so good.
Oh my God. Like I can't believe. Like it's so good. It's like, and the pineapple one is good too.
It's so good.
But that one is like.
But they use all natural ingredients. Like everything's really healthy about it. I mean, being an alcohol.
Yeah. Take it as you wish.
So
it is very delicious. Like Lexi said, you can go down to Border Brewery. There's a ton of places you can go and get it right now. I actually am a big fan of like what's the place in Martini Corner? Oh God, what is it called? Brick House. They have it. One of my favorite places. They got a great brunch. Always get it there. They have it at Society. They had it at Ale House that closed down today. Whole nother conversation.
Ale House just closed.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they have it really at just like a ton of places locally in Kansas City. So definitely get you some Kin Seltzer because it is delicious. So otherwise,
good. So good.
We will see y'all next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Man, thank y'all for tapping in with us. A whole bunch of people right now. We're up to 700 people on the stream, and we are super grateful for y'all. If you are not, please follow Kingdom Queens right now on YouTube, and make sure you go subscribe. All of y'all listening on Twitter, on Twitch, whatever outlet you're listening to, I need you to go to YouTube and subscribe. Please. We would be super grateful for that. But make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to us on every outlet. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple. We are on Spotify. We are literally everywhere. And it's season 3, baby. We just getting started. So shout out to y'all. We love y'all. Y'all tap in with us every week. Super grateful for y'all. Really appreciate y'all. Are we doing another live show? So we were kind of talking about that. But we're also probably going to do more shows actually like together in the same spot versus being on 2 different screens because why have we not done that yet either? Lots of things there that are crazy, but we're figuring it out. It's the off season. We got some merch coming
together. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we got merch coming. You see the hat Lexi has on right now. It's some good stuff coming. So we're super stoked for season 3. It's gonna be a good time. But like, follow, subscribe. Please like, follow, subscribe. All the social media outlets. And other than that, we will see y'all next Tuesday.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.